Come on, come on, spontaneous views. I'm going to hop right in. This is dealing with Angie Stone. First, I want to just say rest in peace to Angie Stone. Rest in peace. Well, condolences to the family. Unfortunately, for me, y'all know how I get down. I think that I had to wait till the smoke cleared so I can gather all the information that I wanted to gather before I do a video on this. So I'm going to be touching on a few videos that's been out, and I'm going to just give you my perception of what's transpired. That's been very, it's not adding up. Let's just keep it real. But I'm going to get into some things, couple videos. I just want to start with the one video I want to start with is the video. I think this was the one that she did in December, where she was discussing her situation with the record label and stuff like that. But I think I'm going to touch a little briefly before that. She spoke about her health, and she spoke about how she had a health scare. So I don't know if this is the part of it, but we just gonna hop right into it, family.
All I'm missing is #1 in several countries. We put it out on the 15th of November. On the 14th
Shout out to
November.
OG Jacario,
The devil
one of
tried
my
to stop that. It was
people that I'm subscribed
then it was
to.
put back up. He tried to,
This is
of course,
his video.
blame it on me, but it wasn't my fault. However, the song prevailed. After everybody bailed, the song went all the way to #1, and it's steady.
No, that's not it.
It has been one heck of a ride. This last month, the enemy was trying to take me out.
This is what I'm trying to get at first.
Trying to take me out, and okay, I'm gonna wait till we get those 50, 60. We had 51. Let me see, can I get 70 to 100 people in the room right now before I reveal some very, very interesting information. And it is like a double-edged sword, because I'm going to tell you one thing, and then I'm going to get to the worst thing that could possibly happen to any artist after 45 to 50 years in the business. The worst thing that could happen. It has, of course, happened to me, and I'm constantly in prayer for God to forgive the people that have wished me ill will, or, done anything to remotely get in the way of the gift of sharing with my fans. Okay? We're at 45. Let me get 50. Let me get 60. I have my team posted as a reveal, because it is a secret that I'm revealing. But the latter part of the conversation is really, really crazy. Anyway, are you guys ready? All right, 45. I need 5, 7. Let me see.
I'm trying to catch up to where she's
Now, I didn't
trying to get into
have a
this.
clue that there was a blood infection.
Okay, this is when she's talking about the blood infection.
They rushed me into ICU. I went into ICU, and I went to use the restroom, and I passed out in the restroom. My oxygen went all the way down and rendered me basically unconscious.
Okay, so pause. So right off the bat, most people will probably say something like this is like a death wish. I'm not saying that this was a death wish. This was something that was plotted on, because obviously when we look back at the situation, she obviously had some health scares in the past that looked kind of deliberate, allegedly. Everything that I say on this video is alleged. I'm just going by commentary that I'm viewing from videos, and I'm giving you my perception and my take on what I'm seeing. So this is alleged, but let's just keep it real. Like, where there's smoke, there's fire, and this is flaming. She talked about the health scare. That was the first time. apparently she had it was a needle. I guess it was infected that wound up giving her a staph infection. Very odd for that to happen. But when you layer everything, when you kind of go back and look at stuff and seeing how it transpires, you could kind of see where the demise was inevitable. I'm gonna keep going.
When I came back to, the nurses began to tell me that I was screaming for Jesus. Because when I went down, I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Hey, want to know how I got?
Man, I hate these ads. But while this ad, I'm gonna talk over the ad.
This $50,000 check for an accident.
There's
I was involved
obviously
in
a
over 5 months
reason
ago.
why.
Look,
I'm gonna fast forward this because I don't want to make the video too long, because there's something else I want to point on also, and I just want to just put everything together. I really don't know how long the video is going to be, but I really want to get this out. You know,
I didn't know what was happening. All I know is it was all of a sudden. And I began to praise God and call on his name, because I knew biblically that if I was transitioning, I needed to be calling on Jesus. And I need to be calling him by his name. So I began to scream his name. When they brought me to is when they told me I was lucky to be alive, because I was on the floor.
right.
And
So obviously this was the first attempt. You know, like this was the first
I
attempt.
knew it was an attack. I knew it was a spiritual attack.
Yes, that was the first attempt. You know?
However, I was treated, and God healed me.
And somebody,
cleared up.
the spirit came in,
After 2 weeks,
saved at that time.
solid. They cleared up the blood infection. I'm just here to let you know. The only reason I hadn't been on my live and just getting with y'all on this, because I had to get postured with God one-on-one. Sometimes God will make you stand still. When you're doing the most you can for everyone, he will stand you still so that your complete focus can be on him.
Okay. I'm gonna conclude the first scare. I'm gonna jump into the situation with the record label that kind of sparked this. Even it intensified, I think, the attempt of her life, allegedly. I'm gonna try to find it because it's another part I want to get to also. So again, that was the first scare. This was obviously before December. This was obviously before she did this video. This video was done in December. So this was obviously before. This had to happen either, 2024, 23, back then. So this was allegedly, to me, the first attempt. Now I'm going to try to get to the situation with the record label.
God knows they're supposed to make sure you're taken care of. And even though they were taking care of themselves, they thought very little of taking care of me. And I know because I've seen it with my own eyes. So I'm just here to let you know, one way or the other, Universal Music, you're going to have to give up my coins. And so what I'm doing now is whatever is necessary to make sure that
they didn't like that, because you have to look at it now. They've been robbing Angie Stone, allegedly, for at least the last 30 to 35 years. Easy. And they're looking at it like now they call it an audit. You can do an audit with the record label. And what they do is that they go in and they match up the monies and the residuals that was made off of songs that you either wrote, co-produced, so forth and so on. And if some of those songs are not in your name, then you're not going to get paid. But you produce, like you physically wrote for material, and you gave it to other artists, and you it's basically publishing. And she didn't. It was songs that she had in her name that wasn't in her name, that should have been in her name, because they did an audit. You have to look at, now you have UMG are looking at this person now that's 63, and there's a lot of nines in this also. I don't want to like disrespect the conversation as far as talking about numerology, but there's a lot of numerology around this situation. I might conclude with that. But to make a long story short about what I'm saying about UMG, they didn't like this. And they looked at it like, man, we're not going to sit up here and have to pay somebody maybe 10, 15, 20 million dollars. Because think about it, that money was distributed amongst over the last, let's just say 20 to 30 years. This money has been dispersed amongst people that shouldn't have benefited off it. So that money is spent. So now UMG is put in a situation, if she's going to sue them, she has a great chance of winning. They now have to go into their pockets to pay maybe 7-8 figures of money to someone that's the way the industry look at it is not in their prime no more. They're beyond their prime. But now that she's opening up the books, they're looking at it like, oh no, the way they think. And she's not the only one. It's a Prince, Sam Cooke, a lot of, I can't really think of all of them right now, but you got a lot of artists that fought against the industry and paid a price, you know?
They pay me for the legacy of my life, for my children and my grandchildren. They're going to have to give me my money. I mean, when you sit back and think Bruno Mars, Dr. Dre, when you think about all these people that have sampled music,
sampled her music, and they're benefiting off of her music, and she still got to do shows. She still, first of all, she shouldn't even been in the van to like that begin with. So let me just, I don't want to make this video long. Man, I kind of want to keep going with this just to conclude. And I want to get to another video. I want to hit like 2 or 3 vids, and I don't want to like make this video too long.
And rectify the issue, because evidently all the time that I've been working through things, they didn't get. I'll tell them on my live, please.
Somebody tried to call in.
There's a special place in hell, just like my girl Selena said, for people like that. There's a brick wall waiting out there for hard heads. And I promise you, God said, touch not my anointing and do my prophet no harm. So even in this hour, I'm going to pray for you. Because I...
All right, I'm going to conclude from that. But we obviously see the situation with that. I want to go to the testimony of now this supposed survivor of the crash. I really want to kind of open it up with that, but I probably don't really have to. I'm just going to ping pong back from this right here. This is going to be testimony from, again, this is the supposed white lady that stopped and helped allegedly Angie Stone in that moment, and saying that she got sideswiped by the 18-wheeler, another 9. I'm just going to throw it out there, you know what I'm saying? But this is, I don't know. Let me see where I'm at with this. Y'all listen to this.
I just got hit by an 18-wheeler on the side of the interstate. I have pieces of the fender in my hair. I have, it's oil all over my body. I'm going to clean this up, and I'm going to get back to telling the story, and I'll show you the footage. After driving the 6 hours home, showering, and processing it all, here's the story. About 4 a.m. on Saturday morning, me and my daughter were driving to Charleston, South Carolina for her Sweet 16 birthday getaway. We came up to a truck with a trailer and its flashers were on, so we slowed down some. And that's when I noticed there was an overturned vehicle in the...
Please, if you will, please share this because we don't know how YouTube push this. Please.
This is I forgot the name of this channel, but I kind of got this video from that channel. I forgot the name of it. Forgive me.
I put my flashers on and I told my daughter to stay in the car. And I ran over. It was a van, and I ran over, and there were so many people in this van, and they were just trying to get out. And I asked if they'd called the cops, and they said, we're just trying to get out.
Pause. She says she attempted to help them. Keep in mind that this this van supposedly flipped 3 times, which we're still not getting the full story of the crash, because think about it. They're only telling us that the Sprinter van flipped 3 times, but they never said what caused the van to flip 3 times. Where is the conversation prior to the van flipping? What happened? I had a scenario in my mind about, oh, well, maybe I was thinking way out the box, like a drone following the van, and then it shot out the tires, and then it probably seen Angie in the, it had like a heat-seeking sensor on it that it could pinpoint where everybody was at, and they probably fired a silencer prior to the van flipping. That's why she was the only one. Remember, the reports came out, she was the only one that survived. Got that was unalived. But come to find out with this person's testimony, she's saying that someone, I guess it was Angie allegedly, was still alive, because she said she never said no one perished. But I want you to continue to listen to her almost slip up.
And they were helping this woman out off the side of the van, and I grabbed her hand and I helped her get down, and she seemed out of it, and I was holding her hand and she was wobbling around, and I said, baby, you got to sit down. And then the next thing I know, I flew and I fell down to the ground, and it felt like something not ran over me but brushed over me. Something just swiped over my body. And I got up.
You would know if a truck gonna hit
screaming,
you.
And I just focused in on one screaming, and it was my daughter. And all I could do was run across the highway and tell her to get back in the car. She had to move the car because if somebody else hit us, it could hit her. So she moved the car farther up the interstate, and I called 911, and they said they were on their way.
So she moved
and then
the
all
car
I could
further
think to do was get to my daughter. And that's all I could do in that time. And when I was walking to my daughter, we're really running the best that I can do. I was in so much pain. My chest felt like an elephant was sitting on it. My legs were so hurt and sore. And I looked up, and there was an 18-wheeler that had crossed the median into oncoming traffic. And I knew that's what hit me and ran over and brushed over me. Was the 18.
Now, I know a lot of people have heard this lady. I forgot her name. Forgive me. I don't know if she even said her name in the beginning of the video, or I think they removed the video. She took the video down, so obviously she had a name, but I don't know. I had to find this video. But anyway, enough of the chit chat. Y'all heard what she said. She clearly said that it brushed over her and it almost ran over, and then she caught her words. Now, there is speculation, allegedly, that the 18-wheeler ran over Angie Stone. That would be kind of harsh. They had the memorial in Atlanta, I think it was Friday, and I think she had another memorial in Columbia, South Carolina. I think both were closed casket. So we don't know what condition the body was in at all. You know what I'm saying? They did an autopsy very quickly. Usually autopsies take about 2 weeks, probably more than that, but I know just on average. But I guess they did everything speedy, which is, again, it raises red flags. That's all I can say to put it in a nutshell. But again, you guys heard her testimony. I want to say that, go back one more time. I hate that I got to move my phone though, but I'm in front of the video. It's in front of the video.
And all I could think to do was get to my daughter. And that's all I could do in that time. And when I was walking to my daughter, or really running, the best that I can do, I was in so much pain. My chest felt like an elephant was sitting on it. My legs were so hurt and sore. And I looked up, and there was an 18-wheeler there to cross the median into oncoming traffic. And I knew that's what hit.
Now, before we get to that part again, the question is, why did the 18-wheeler, they obviously had to have been driving on the same direction, because it would have been weird if the 18-wheeler was in the other north. Let's just say they were going north and south, and this oncoming traffic, and then it veered over. So we already know that the truck and the Sprinter van had to been on the same path. I'm just not understanding why the 18-wheeler had to veer all the way into a median and then stop on the other side. Keep in mind that the guy, I forgot his name, but he was 33 years old, another 9. But no one knows where he's at. They said about he's missing, because at the end of the day, he should be liable for a criminal. For what I'm hearing, the Alabama State Police had this up under a criminal investigation. So why is he not being criminally charged for what happened? This trucking company, I found out also, I think it's CRST, have a bad reputation of drivers. And I think this is one of the few trucking companies that hire felons. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but what I'm saying is that people can use people like that for their benefit. Again, this guy is vanished, this truck driver. And I'm still trying to get the testimony as to anybody that was even in the van, let alone what happened prior to the accident. Why we're not getting any testimony from no one that was in the van? I wanted to pull up a video. I had so many videos out. This video would have been an hour long, and I found so much information, you know what I'm saying? But it was another video I seen where one of the people that was in the car, Tony Braxton had did she had did a show, and she stated in this show that 3 of the band members were supposed to be on stage with her that night, the ones that was in the van, the Sprinter van. Surprisingly, one of the guys were there, and Tony Braxton repeatedly, I wish I had it, man, I wish I would have had that, repeatedly said that the guy had a broken collarbone. And I know, I've never experienced it, but I've known people that had broken collarbones. Like, I play sports. So I play basketball. So I know that a broken collarbone, you ain't about to be just chilling backstage. Like, he had no arm, was in a sling or nothing. So my thing, and then if you look at the video, man, I wish I had it, but if you look at the video, it looked like he didn't even want to get on stage because he didn't want to give a perception of something, because I caught it when she kept saying he had a broken collarbone. You got a broken collarbone, you're going to be like this in a sling. Like, you're not going to be able to move this. He hugged her and everything, and just had an accident 3 weeks ago. You broke your collarbone 2-3 weeks ago? Come on, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a part 2 to this. Dang.
Hit me and ran over, and brushed over me.
Boom. She said it ran over, but she caught herself. Why did she do that? Why did she say that? It's almost like she's being coerced in this situation. This person here has vanished also. Like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to do a part 2 to this, because there's so much information, and this video is already, I'm at 25 minutes almost, and I'm like, man, I feel like I ain't even touch on nothing yet. I ain't even get to the nitty gritty. yeah, I'm gonna have to do a part 2, man.
Was the 18-wheeler. And my daughter's freaking out. She'd already called my husband by then and my father-in-law. And I just told her, we've got to get to the hospital. I can't breathe. It was so hard to breathe. I'm going to post a video of the 18-wheeler after I left the hospital, driving back through to get to my husband and my son. I will not be posting the vehicle in the video because somebody did pass away. They did. And
So
I won't
now
be posting that for...
somebody did pass away. I'm gonna conclude this. I'm gonna definitely have to make a part 2 because I had another video loaded up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to come back to this, family. This is definitely something that's I feel like the spirit is in me to talk about this too, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna conclude with this one. This is part 1, but I'm gonna conclude with what I've put into this video so far. There's obviously foul play in this situation. I'm just going to get more in depth of the driver in part 2. I'm going to get more in depth of what the speculations and everything else. But I'm going to come back with another video. I'm just going to conclude with this. I don't want this to be too long-winded. But like I said, it's already long, and I didn't think it was going to be this long. But yeah, we're going to definitely have to come back to this. My conclusion, there's definitely foul play in this situation. We're going to get more in tune later. Come one, come all.